What you like today? Pick your color.
I wasn't sure how this would turn out because it's been a long time since I did a set, and especially using my non-dominant hand too. Well, any set for that matter. So here I'm pushing my cuticles. Now this shouldn't be aggressive. You don't want to damage any connecting tissue that are part of the eponychium. And always be sure to clean down the sides as well, because lifting doesn't only happen at the top. Along with cuticle growth, a lot of product like ointments, lotions, and traces of other things we come in contact on a day-to-day can collect and cause lifting too. A small ball bit at a low speed, used around 2,000 to 5,000 RPMs to clean up. And if you're learning, start at a lower speed and work your way up as you get comfortable. A good idea is to always practice anything on yourself first so you can have an idea what the client is experiencing. If you notice any pausing, it's because I'm using my non-dominant hand as I explained, which is my left, and I'm trying to get it together. Because there are times when there's that mental process gap when that hand ain't doing what your mind is thinking. My mind is telling me yeah, but my left hand is telling me no. A medium to fine grit sanding band at a low speed as well, to only remove any remaining deposits and oils from the nail surface. Now watch my left hand get lost when I do the thumb. I love this dusting brush. It's so soft and feels soothing. And my favorite, 3XL tapered clear. And you know I really don't like cutting these down to get rid of the numbers underneath because I feel it tends to lose much of the taper. Another option though would be to use a drill bit or a rounded hand file if that's your preference. That way you can keep the entire length. But the numbers really don't bother me. Remember to pinch the sides when applying nail tips to ensure they adhere all the way across. So guys, oh my gosh, let me tell you, with all that's happened, I didn't have a chance to tell you that I haven't even had my nails together pretty much since being back in school. And even though I hadn't let on to it, I've been feeling so horrible about my hands. But before I move on, these nail tips are pre-shaped, which you know is what I appreciate most, so there's really no need to spend the time shaping before laying the acrylic. And even though the well of these tips is more flush, I'm briefly showing blending, which you should use the sanding band to bring the edge of the nail tip more flush to the surface. If you don't do this step, there could be airspace left where the nail tip starts that the acrylic doesn't fill, and it can cause lifting or especially breakage because this is the stress area. Then dehydrator is applied. And also a primer. And please forgive the moments I'm out of frame. I don't know if I mentioned that my mount broke, so I'm a little thrown off from my center of recording. So yeah guys, here's a little more about my time away. Eventually I just needed some time alone. I needed to decompress mentally, emotionally, and even physically. Anyone know what I'm talking about? You know how many times we hear people express how it's not good to hold things in, which is totally true, right? But then there's just as much significance to holding things in during certain life situations too, isn't it? And I was feeling it heavy. I mean heavy. I had to take a day to myself. I jumped in the car. I had no plans whatsoever, but what I did know, by the end of the day, I was going to get my nails did. I played music as I drove. I cried. I laughed. I smiled and was comforted by so many memories to cherish of our loved ones. Then I found this cute little place that served different ramen soups, and I decided to stop there. Guys, I was like a little kid as they brought my bowl, and I discovered ingredients that I hadn't seen or tasted since childhood. Then, surprisingly, the owner recognized me from a place he previously owned, where I'd often stop after a workout at the nearby gym. So I was just sitting there enjoying and slurping them noodles, 'cause you gotta slurp them. And he sat with conversation of his family's business history. I really had a good time with him. It was great. Then I headed to the nail salon. Okay, so I gotta grasp myself first because wait. Y'all know as I walked in, I swear it sounded just like my channel intro, right? Hi, what you like today? Oh, you want full set and pedicure too? There was one guy. Later he told me his name was Lou. He said, anything you like, I do for you. I was so tickled, guys. They didn't know why I was laughing, of course, but apparently it set the mood for the service because wow, did I enjoy much more laughter and conversation with him and the other employee as well. Oh, and this glitter acrylic, it's Pixie Champagne by Zulay's Nails. And I've been so eager to use this. I did a shorts with it. This is super gorgeous. And I don't know if you can see the color shift yet. But you see, I started with a very wet bead and then it dripped to the table. Sometimes glitters can be a little tricky to work, which is why I do that. But this glitter acrylic goes on so smooth. Speaking of which, I am using Zulay's Smooth Set Monomer too. So you go ahead and watch this application and I'll finish telling you the rest. I suppose it was meant for me to just let go of any concern, even about recording too. The only downside to the full set, which really wasn't a bad thing, I kept asking during the pedicure if they had extra long 3XL nails, you know, like the ones you're seeing in the video. And he kept saying, yeah, I do. I got it. I do for you. But they really didn't. And to tell you the truth, I was okay with going a shorter length. In a sense, I actually expected it. So for my nails, I chose this light teal color for my feet and hands. And then for the acrylic, he ombre'd this real pretty nude with faint glitter in it. And I'm thinking it was a Young Nails cover. Oh, and the teal acrylic was iGel Beauty. He put a cluster of stones at the arc of my middle finger. And then a small, you know how we do the small band of stones around the arc of the ring finger. They were really pretty and I did like them. I was getting compliments as soon as I stopped for gas heading home. So yeah, it definitely was meant for me to maybe not necessarily forget everything, but to simply enjoy this day for what it had to offer. And I wanted to share this because we all need to decompress at times, especially when it's critical or emotional. One of my most favorite things to do during the warm season has always been to pack small snacks and refreshments, get out to a nearby park, turn on some music, and just enjoy the outdoors, the sunlight, the fresh air. And you know what's something I recently learned that I'll quickly share? Did you know that you should go barefoot in the soil? So I started doing this too. It's actually called grounding. And there's so many benefits to it. There's so much to share, you really should look it up and start doing it. So the nails I left clear. The ring finger will get a nude ombre, and the middle finger and thumb will be all nude. So his nails were on for about a week, right before these, and then I took them off. Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up, and this is for anyone that's doing client services on a regular. Not to leave anybody out, but I do have a question because we're starting to run into this. Is anyone coming across clients that are coming in for refills or rebalances from another salon that covered their nail gems heavily, and I'm talking real heavy, with either top coat or a gel product over the rhinestones? And I'm talking, and I mean buried, because you know we don't do that up in here. OMG, what a pain. If you've experienced this, I'd really be interested in anything you have to say about it. So you might notice here's some missed area on the one side of this nail. And again, it's because I feel a little out of position with the broken mount, but more so because you see how I'm holding my hand slightly tilted sideways? Okay, so I chose not to go over it to correct it, but added acrylic to smooth in and fill it properly. So I just wanted to explain that. And I like how these turned out. So pretty, I think. So about this left hand jamming, remember back when I said I'd try many things with my left hand? And I decided to do 3D acrylic art. Even though I know I've done 3D before, I'm trying to stay consistent in being able to do it. I wanted the background to be glossy so it would have a little contrast with the nail art. Now the top coat is by Born Pretty. You know you'll find everything in the description. And there's not much edited out here because I did want to show the struggle with my left hand. And there's even a moment where I wasn't in frame at all, but you could see me working that brush though. Girl, when you're focused, nothing else has your attention, right? So the mixed color for the petals was to accentuate reflections from the acrylic glitter. I mixed Mia's Secret orange and pink, which is called ice cream. Then you'll see two different reveals. In the first, I did the flower petals only halfway down. Then as I continued to look at it, I was like, I think it'll look better down the entire nail. So that'll be the second reveal. And I'll keep working with my left hand if you guys want to see more. I hope you enjoyed this. If so, remember to hit like, and here's another left hand set. Consider subscribing for more to come, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Much love.